Alright guys, more new content for New Content Day. We got all the boss solos. First one is this Nebula. She's got live wire. So I went in with a shock immune champion. Really, it's any nullified champion is probably really good here because when she gets a regen buff, she's gonna go unblockable, and it's hide or heal. So I wasn't really paying attention to it. See there, if I dash, I stay back, I get the regen instead of Nebula. But really, it doesn't matter. I just kind of went with Doom here. The other thing is she's, if you don't consistently go and hit into her block, she's going to get a bunch of armor ups. And if you don't deal with that, then so then it's just going to take longer to get the fight down. So every so often, once I realized that she was getting up to like 3-4 more armor ups, you're just going to consistently get those, and you're going to have to hit into her block to remove them. So here I go for like a full combo into the block, but she gets the healing, so that was kind of annoying. But I wanted to be able to do the damage. So it's not really anyone can go in and do this fight. You don't need a shock immune champion. It's just if you do get hit, then there's a 50% chance that she's going to put a shock on you if you do get hit. So I just kind of went with a felt like Doom was an easy option here. You see it there. I took a couple hits there for a second, and I didn't get any shocks, but and he's got the ability to nullify or stagger the healing, even her self-repair as well. But I think sometimes I can see that the unblockable didn't trigger. But yeah, nothing else too exciting for this one. I'm sure you could use any other champion, but I just went with this is what my initial thought was on my initial run. So it might not be the perfect boss solo, but it's a boss solo, so I'll take it. And it was like my first time running through it. So I'll let the rest of this one play out, and we'll see for the next fight. Right, first boss down. Next one, this is a Magneto, but he's got, it's rich gets richer, power, deja vu prowess, combat deja vu, bubble shield, as well as, if I go down here, it's the bottom one, persistent pressure, so he's consistently getting unstoppables. Probably a slow champ would be really good here. I just decided to go with Black Widow Clairvoyant. Even though when you, I believe when you knock him down, he gets, or he has a chance to get, not knocked down, but there's a chance his timer there. He gets nullify immunity when he gets the unstoppable there. But, so you can't, I'm sure you could use a slow champion to get around his the unstoppable. I went with Black Widow Clairvoyant because her special 2 is nullify, is not a nullify, it's a buff immunity. So it does not count as a, so even though he has a nullify immunity, my buff immunity still works. So once that is on, you can see he's not going to get the, he becomes immune to getting the unstoppable instead of staggering it or nullifying it. So Black Widow Clairvoyant works extremely well here. I think there were just a couple times where I screwed up on the bubble shield, where I let the 10th hit be unblockable and hit me. But again, it's just a little bit of playing around the unstoppable. Nothing too crazy. I probably should have gone into like the incinerate mode earlier. It would have been a lot easier, would have done a lot more damage sooner. I did get clipped a couple times in this one, but again, I'll let the music play out. We still got a solo, and it doesn't matter if I get hit. A solo is a solo, and that's all we're looking for here. All right. All right, next boss is this Phoenix boss, and I read this node wrong. I was rushing through it. It's enhanced parry power gain. It's haunted and buffed up defender. So I saw buffed up, and immediately I'm like, okay, let me throw on some pre-fights from like Odin. But really, what it is you need Phoenix to get buffs, and you need to let her get her Furies. And if you let her get her Furies, then you're actually doing damage. So I'm like, at the beginning here, I was like, why am I doing 0 damage? And it took me till afterwards and going back, and I didn't redo the fight. I still soloed it anyway. But really, what you want is you want to make sure that Phoenix has her Fury buffs active. She needs those Furies. You don't want to nullify them. You want to make sure you bring in someone who can keep those Furies up, and then you just manage her specials, and then you do damage, like you can do your damage there. Also, there's every time the defender dashes back, then you get that falter. So you have to be careful. Every time Phoenix dashes back, you get a falter on yourself, and you just got to be careful that that's going to happen. You can still get your parries in. You can still get your stuff in. I just went in with America Chavez just for fun here. Yeah, every time she dashes back, in and back, you're getting that falter. But really, as long as she's got her some buffs on, then you're doing any champion can really do this. You don't need anything special. You don't need any pre-fights. But again, if you have someone who's like immune to falter, then that would be like you bring someone like Professor X or something that can't miss, or Torch, and I'm sure this fight will be done way faster. So just again, I'll let the music play out on this one. I still got the solo, but reading the notes is is important sometimes, especially when they mix them up every single month. So yeah, this was definitely one of those examples. All right. Okay, next boss is this Apocalypse. Now he's going to gain power anytime you put a debuff on him that he is immune to, because he's got empowered immunity. I decided, and if you don't hit him every 6 seconds, you might get an Incinerate. I went with Peni Parker because she's Incinerate immune, has class advantage. I did throw on Mr. Fantastic's pre-fights, which don't really do too much here. But I figure I'm going to go ahead and just try, even though he's immune to Incinerate after 9 seconds, Penny's Incinerate damage is pretty bursty. Like it's pretty quick. It's not, so even if he does go immune to the Incinerate, my plan here was to throw a couple special ones. And then drop a special 2 and see if we can get a nice chunk of burst damage if we can here. Penny is pretty tanky, especially when the Sync Shield is active. You can take quite a bit of damage on the block without taking any damage. So here, bait that special 2. So now I want to get to a special 2 and see if we can get some nice burst damage with Penny here. Again, I think lots of different Incinerate immune champions would work well, but I just decided to go with Penny. Just, she's new. Look at the nice burst damage. And then see that Incinerate? By the time he goes immune, he's already down below 15%, 17% or something. Now he got the Incinerate immunity, and now I can just use a couple special ones here just to finish him off. But I was pretty happy with how this fight worked out. Bait one more special 2. And again, take no damage when the Sync Shield is active, which is really nice. Bait that heavy attack. And that should do it. So down goes Apocalypse. Next up is our first new boss. And we used Peni again, because Omega Sentinel does have some annoying incinerate damage on, I think, on her heavy attack if you get clipped by it. I did throw the again, I threw the pre-fights on here. Omega Sentinel here, let's look at the buffs again. You kind of have to you have to use specials. You're kind of like limited in how many hits you can get, and then your parry damage or your parry timer is going to be reduced, so it's not too crazy. But all those heavy, medium, light, the HML above me there is just how many of each one I have before my parry timer drops by like 40% or something. But I'm going to do the same thing here. When you knock her down, she goes debuff immune. But they kind of want you to knock her down because you want to be able to parry. Now, she does have some auto block mechanic, which again, I don't know too much about Omega Sentinel yet. But the special ones were pretty easy to evade, at least the later half of it, like the latter half of the special. Let's see if she'll actually throw one here. She's pretty stingy with the special, actually. I'm just trying to see. It's fine. So I'll throw that special one. Gets a little bit of power burn. So I think I end up pushing to a special 2. But there, the special 2 has 2 bursts and then a big one at the end. I got a partial dex, partial auto block from Peni. So I don't think I got a full dex there. And I think I tried again on the special 2 and I don't get a full dex. So it's definitely going to take some practice on the timing. But I went with the same strategy as I did with Apocalypse. Get a couple special ones, then go for a big special 2. See that the end of that special 1 is just a dash, and I'm sure I haven't figured out the evade time on those first 2 balls there that come in, but it's something to learn. Similar to like that Sigil Witch SP2 that everyone's going to get accustomed to after playing the side quest. There we go. Nice big burst damage from the special 2, but you don't get the incinerates afterwards because she goes immune. There again, I kind of screwed up the end of that special 2, but Peni still does. We go through the same rotation again. We still get a bunch of damage done. It worked out pretty well, but I'm sure there's lots of other champions that are available for this, but this is the one I used. It might have been a little bit slow, but got the job done. So I'm going to let the music play out, and we'll see you for the last fight. All right, the last fight is Captain Britain. She's a mutant. I went in with Doc Ock with the Mr. Fantastic pre-fights again. I do have the anti-venom synergy, so there's a chance that my detonations could double up. But the fight here is not too bad. You want to throw heavy attacks to purify any debuffs on you, and there's special delivery, and you have to watch out for one too many hits. So you might get a power sting, but you will purify it with heavy attacks, and just make sure you don't have a power sting on you. The combination of power stings with special delivery means you got to make sure you do throw specials, and you don't want to get stuck with having to throw a special with the power sting on. So you're going to take either damage from the power sting, or you're going to take damage from special delivery. So I think that's the thing here. So if I had a chance to throw a special, and I saw that there was no if there wasn't a power sting on me, so I went ahead and made sure to get the special off before the special delivery charge goes down, just like that. And Doc Ock worked fantastic. This is probably one of the fastest fights of all the boss fights that I did today. So again, I'll let the music play out for this one, but Doc Ock just completely shreds Captain Britain here. So I hope this helps, and we'll see you in the next one, guys.